Hello everyone, today we're talking about equilibrium and how that affects the market. Uh, First of all, let's talk about the role of competition in facing equilibrium. And there are three things that we would have to know. So, if equilibrium is our topic, I would want you to know these three things. First, competition among sellers results in lower cost and prices, um, which means higher product quality and better customer service. So, with the more producers you have, the better it is for consumers. Competition among buyers increases prices and allows alloc- allocate goods and services to those people who are willing and able to pay the most for them. So, for those who are willing to produce things, they're making sure they produce the best, and you're also getting the most for your money in terms of demand. And finally, as a result, competition among buyers and sellers creates an equilibrium price naturally, meaning without government intervention or outside forces manipulating it. So, in other words, you get prices that are um, natural. They don't require any outside interference to make sure that it's fair to everyone. When we talk about what equilibrium itself means, it's the condition of being at rest or balanced. Equilibrium exists when the quantity that consumers are willing and able to buy equals, so is not more or is not less than the quantity producers are willing and able to sell. And graphically, equilibrium is the point at which the demand curve and supply curve intersect. So let's draw a sample supply and demand curve. So we've got that axis. I've got this axis. Let's label them with price and quantity demanded. And let's call this a market for tacos. Tacos has been a famous one lately. Right. So as we move up to the right, that is our supply curve, because as price goes up, quantity demand goes up. And we'll call the supply curve 1, and we'll see why here in just a moment. As we let's keep that red. As we move down to the right, let's make it a different color. That is our demand curve. As quantity demand gets higher, the price goes lower. So let's call this our demand curve. And as you might imagine, the point where these two thing these two lines meet is the equilibrium point. So at this point, the quantity demanded meets the quantity supplied, and we have what's called our equilibrium price. So let's kind of draw that out as well. We've got our quantity demanded equal to our equilibrium price, and that is our equilibrium price. So next thing we need to think about is, does this always stay the same? Remember, we've talked about determinants of demand and determinants of supply. So say, for example, that in this market for tacos, there is a increase in the price of corn, which causes an increase in the price that it costs to make per taco. So in that situation, would producers supply more or less? If you have said that they would supply less, you are exactly right. So let's draw a new curve to show that. So again, we'll work in red here. The curve moves to the left. We'll call this supply curve 2. And because the supply has gotten less, our curve has shifted here. So let's find our new equilibrium price. So at this point, our equilibrium price has gone up. So as there's less supply, demand has stayed the same, but equilibrium price has gone up. So let us note that as well. All right. So that's one thing that could happen if supply goes if the supply goes down, and we see that um, the opposite happens if supply goes up. If the curve gets lower, if the curve shifts to the right, your equilibrium price goes lower. Similar things happen with demand. Say, for example, that with our tacos here, there is a decrease in the price of beef. So beef being an ingredient in the price of taco, consumers would expect their tacos to get cheaper. So let's show what that would look like. So again, my curve is going to be blue here, and so if we expect prices to go down, we move our curve to the left. All right, and now we have a new equilibrium price as a result of that move. We see that our equilibrium has moved here, and we would call that equilibrium 3. Right? So as prices have gone down, the market has shifted, and there is a new equilibrium price. So that's equilibrium in a nutshell. Thank you for watching.